Did you know that there's a gun that doesn't even need gunpowder? Yes, you heard me correctly. Gunpowder, the very thing that defines firearms, is completely optional in this case. It sounds like science fiction, right? But it's true, and it could redefine everything you thought you understood about firearms. Let's take a journey into this astounding weapon, its history, and its promise for the future. To truly understand what makes this firearm so extraordinary, we first have to look at the history of gunpowder. Gunpowder was first developed in ancient China around the 9th century. It revolutionized warfare, leading to the creation of cannons, muskets, and eventually the firearms we know today. For centuries, the combination of gunpowder, a projectile, and a chamber has been the cornerstone of firearm design. Until now. Enter the railgun, a firearm that doesn't need gunpowder. Instead, it uses electromagnetic force, a completely different method of propulsion. So how does it actually work? Imagine this. Instead of using an explosive chemical reaction to push a bullet forward, a railgun uses two conductive rails and a powerful electric current to launch the projectile. When a current is passed through the rails and the projectile, it creates a magnetic field that propels the projectile forward with incredible velocity. Essentially, the railgun turns electricity into kinetic energy, no explosions required. Now you might be wondering, how fast can this gun really shoot? Compared to traditional firearms, railguns can reach staggering speeds. While a typical gun may fire a bullet at around 2,500 feet per second, railguns achieve speeds of up to 8,000 feet per second or more. That's over Mach 6, 6 times the speed of sound. And all of this happens without a single grain of gunpowder. Let that sink in for a moment. But why does this matter? The absence of gunpowder isn't just a neat gimmick. It solves several problems that traditional firearms face. For instance, there's no need to carry bulky, explosive ammunition, which not only saves space, but also increases safety. Then there's the wear and tear on the firearm itself. Gunpowder creates residue and heat, which degrade a gun over time. Railguns sidestep these issues by using electricity, which keeps the weapon cleaner and more durable. In military and scientific contexts, this could be revolutionary. Speaking of context, let's dive into the practical applications of railguns. The U.S. Navy, for example, has been experimenting with railgun technology for years. Their goal? To create a weapon that can launch a projectile up to 100 miles away, far beyond the capability of any traditional firearm or artillery. This could change the future of naval warfare, allowing ships to attack targets with pinpoint accuracy from previously unimaginable distances. Railguns aren't just about speed and range, they're also about cost efficiency. War is expensive, especially when traditional ammunition and explosives are involved. Railgun projectiles, by contrast, are much simpler and cheaper to produce. Imagine being able to launch a number of high-speed rounds without relying on volatile and costly materials. That's the promise of this technology. But perfection is elusive, and the railgun is no exception. Despite its promising features, there are significant drawbacks that have prevented railguns from becoming mainstream. The first major challenge is power. Railguns require an enormous amount of electricity to operate. The kind of energy needed to propel a projectile at such extreme speeds is staggering, and not every environment provides the necessary infrastructure to support this. For now, this limits railguns to specific applications where power generation is feasible. Another issue is the material science involved. While railguns avoid the chemical wear associated with gunpowder, the extreme heat and stress generated by electromagnetic propulsion are no small challenges. The conductive rails wear out over time, and researchers are still experimenting with materials that can withstand this immense strain for longer periods. Perhaps most interestingly, railguns also challenge traditional notions of what a firearm should be. Do railguns even qualify as firearms? By legal definitions, firearms require gunpowder. But railguns subvert this idea entirely, falling into a gray area that has regulators and lawmakers scratching their heads. If railgun technology becomes widely available, it could lead to an entirely new set of rules and discussions around firearms legislation. What's next for railguns? Research is ongoing not just in military settings, but also in the private sector. Companies are exploring ways to miniaturize the technology, making it more portable and accessible for non-military applications. Imagine a future where railguns are used not just on the battlefield, but in fields like construction, space exploration, and even mining. The possibilities are endless. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Are railguns the future of firearms? While they might not replace traditional firearms anytime soon, they've undoubtedly carved out a space in the world of innovative weapons. Their ability to launch projectiles with unprecedented speed and accuracy has already captured the imagination of scientists, engineers, and military strategists alike. And as the technology improves, the impact of railguns will only grow. But beyond the technical innovation, railguns also raise deeper questions about the nature of progress. What does it mean when we move away from traditional methods to embrace a completely new form of technology? Railguns challenge the status quo, showing us that even the most established ideas, like the use of gunpowder in firearms, can be reimagined and improved upon. So the next time you think about firearms, I want you to remember this. There's a gun that defies everything we thought we knew about how firearms should work. A gun powered not by explosions, but by electromagnetic force. A gun that pushes the boundaries of science and engineering, forcing us to rethink what's possible. That's the railgun, a weapon that doesn't just fire projectiles, but also fires up our imaginations and reshapes our understanding of the world. What do you think? Are railguns the future, or just a fascinating footnote in the story of firearms? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to share this video with someone who loves exploring the unexpected. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode of Firearms, where we uncover astonishing truths, one shot at a time.